Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see how to scrap YouTube search results for the given search query on your Google spreadsheet using Google App Script as well as YouTube Data API. So if you see this sheet, you can see B1. Here is the place where you need to enter the search query, and once you enter the search query and run the script, you can see the search results here, and we are going to fetch first 50 search results for the given query, and we are going to scrap video ID, published date, channel ID, video title, description, thumbnail URL, and channel title. So this is what we are going to do now. So let's go to Google Drive and open a new Google spreadsheet. Let's name this sheet as YouTube API tutorial. I'm going to copy the header from this sheet so that I don't need to type it again. So now we are going to scrap that using Google App Script. So you need to launch Google App Script editor. Let's name this project as YouTube API project and click on OK. In the meanwhile, we rename the function as YouTube scrapper. Once this is successfully saved, go to resource and select advanced Google services. By default, YouTube Data API is disabled on your spreadsheet, and you need to go to this advanced Google service section and enable your YouTube Data API. So you can find this YouTube Data API at the bottom. Just click on the sliding button, and we are now able to access this YouTube API from our Google App Script. So just copy this one because this is what we are going to use throughout the project, and click on OK. So now I want to fetch the search query from the sheet 1. So let's write a script for that. First, let me create an object for sheet 1. I'm going to use an as usual spreadsheet app and get active spreadsheet and use the method get sheet by name. Just pass the sheet name here. The sheet name is sheet 1, and that's it. We have successfully created an object for the sheet 1, and now I want to get the value which will be given on the B1. So to get the B1, I will create a new variable. Let's name this as keyword, and I can use the sheet 1 object get range, so you can see different type of get range. I'm going to use notation. So let me select this one, and this keyword belongs to the cell B1. So let's put B1 here and use a method get value so that we will retry the value present on the cell B1. So far we are good, and I'm going to fetch the search results from YouTube Data API. And if you see here under the Data API documentation, you can see the response that we are going to get for the API call. So this is how our response will be, and we need to go inside the search resource, because inside the search resource we can able to find the video ID, channel ID, published date, and title, description, and the channel title. So all this information that we are looking for is present under the object items. So let's see how to get this information first, and how can we go inside the object item and retrieve the information that we actually looking for. So now I will go back to my script. Let's create one more variable. Let's name this as an items, or maybe we can call this as a results. So we are going to get the API response, and we are going to store the API response in the results variable. So to make an API call, as I mentioned previously, you have to use the YouTube keyword followed by search, and under the search you need to use the list method with optional argument. Select this one, and the first argument you need to pass the information that you are actually looking for. So if you see the documentation, we need the details from ID as well as snippet. So these are the two things that we are looking for. So just go here and put ID and snippet. That's it. And in the optional args, you need to specify what is the keyword that you are going to search and how many results that you want to retrieve back from the API. So to put a keyword, you should use Q and specify the keyword. We already defined the keyword in this variable, so I'm going to use that variable, and you have to specify the maximum number of results that you are looking for. So I'm going to retrieve 50 search results, and this is the maximum search results that you can retrieve from the API. So I will put 50 here, and I hope that's it. We have created an API for the given keyword. Let's create a logger and see what is the response that we got. Let me execute the script. So when you are executing the script for the very first time, you need to give authorization. Just select your channel and verify that, and click on the Allow YouTube API project. Go to view and logs. So we got all those informations like this. So if we compare, the first we got a region code, and you can find the region code here, and the next one is a next page token that you can find here. But all we want is we want this one. So let's see how to extract the items related stuff. So you just need to mention items, and if you see here, it's going to return an array. Just execute that one. And if you go to log, we got what is the thing that we're actually looking for. We want the snippet as well as ID. I'm not sure where exactly it is, so it's so clumsy. If you see here, if you just compare it with the documentation, you can see this is what we actually got. So inside the item, it return another JSON object, and inside the JSON object, you need to go inside the ID, and from ID you need to go further into the another JSON object to retrieve video ID, channel ID, and blah blah blah. So let's see how to do that. Let me go back to my script. So I'm going to use a map function to retrieve all this information. So if you are not aware of how the map work, I already put a video for that. You can just go ahead and watch that video. So let me create one more variable. Let's call that as items. Let me remove the unwanted logger function. I'm going to use the results, and in the results we need to go inside the items, and item is going to return an array. So I can use map function to iterate each and every element in an array. So this map function accept the first one. In the first argument, we are going to get the iterative value, and with that we are going to fetch all the information that we are looking for. So if we put E during the first iteration, it will retrieve all the information related to the very first ID, and during each iteration it will retrieve the corresponding values from this index. So I want this function to return an array, and this array contain the details of video ID, published date, channel ID, video title, description, thumbnail URL, and channel title. So I have to use the index value E. So let me copy this one so that I don't need to go back and forth every time. So first I need to get the video ID. So to get the video ID, if you go here, the video ID belongs to the object ID. So we first need to go to this ID and then we can call video ID. So e.id.video ID. And next we need to get the published date. Let's go back to the results, and inside the results you can see under the snippet object we can get published at, channel ID, title, description, and all those details that we are looking for. So let's go back to the script, and I'm going to get the published date which is present inside the snippet object, and it's published at. So just separate each and every item with a comma. And next I need to get the channel ID, and it is also present inside the snippet. So let's put snippet first and channel ID. And next thing I want to get the video title, which is also present inside the snippet object. And the URL is quite a tricky one. Let's come back to the URL later after referring the documentation. So now go to the channel title. Let's say e.snippet.channel title, and let's see how to get the thumbnail URL. So if you see, the thumbnail accept a key value, and inside the key you need to get URL. So if you scroll down, you can see more detail about what are all the values that you can put it in the key. So you can put default, medium, high, standard, and max res. So these are all representing the resolution of the thumbnail image. Let me go with the default one. So you have to use this one, and you have to put the key value in the form of object, and then you have to use the URL. So let's go back here. It's e.snippet.thumbnails. To represent an object on Google Apps Script, you should use a square bracket, and inside that you can represent the key value followed by what you're looking for. I need to fetch the URL. So now let's log this and see how it works. So it executed successfully. Go to view logs, and you can see that I got the response in the form of 2D array, and inside the array it contains video ID and the published date and timestamp, channel ID, the title, and everything. So now we need to populate this value on the Google sheet. Let's see how to do that. So we already got the sheet 1 object. Let's reuse that one. I can use a method get range, and let me go with this method because I can specify the starting row and column. Along with that, I can also specify the number of rows and columns. So let me go with that one. The starting row should be 4 because 3 belongs to the header, so it should start from 4, and it starts from the very first column. Let me go with 1. And you have to specify the number rows. You can get the number of rows from this array because this array is a 2D array, so just use that one. And if you put method length, it will get number of rows, and to get the number of columns you have to go inside the index and mention the length. That's it, you are done. Now let's execute the script and see whether the output is populated here or not. So if you go here, output is not populated because we need to set the values. Use a method set values, and this values should be a 2-dimensional array, and we already have the 2-dimensional array. Let's put that and give it a try. Let's go back here. So we got the output, but we are missing one thing because we didn't get the description. It's because we haven't mentioned it here. We should mention the description after video title. So let's go here and add the description. So the description is also belong to snippet object. That's it. Execute the script once again. I think we got all the details, and we get the 50 search results as well. And that's it for this video. If you have any doubt, just drop your doubts in the comment section. And if you like this video, give thumbs up. Thank you. Bye bye.